the eternal city of Rome, one of the most visited places in Europe. Every time I come here, I'm blown away by the food, the history, la dolce vita, and the amazing art you can find here. There are just over 100 known works by the artist Caravaggio. This is one that tourists can come and see, and you can understand why he's able to make a name for himself. This one's just so explicit. But what's really cool is that you can also see his masterpieces in everyday spaces all around Italy, like in churches, for example. But sadly, making artworks more readily accessible also leaves them vulnerable to theft. And one of the most famous examples in history is the disappearance of a massive Caravaggio from a Sicilian church. So, this is how the story goes. The year is 1969. It's October 17th. We're in Sicily. There's a huge rainstorm and the skies are illuminated by lightning and the sounds of thunder. Now, whilst all the locals are asleep, thieves are breaking into a church through a side window. They enter the church and they steal one of Italy's most famous paintings, Caravaggio's Nativity. Now, it's rumored that they cut the painting out of its frame and roll it up into a carpet and steal off into the darkness of the night. Now, it was also rumored that this painting was stolen by one of Sicily's biggest mafia bosses. The painting was also said to have turned up somewhere in Switzerland. But over 50 years later, and still nobody knows what has happened to Caravaggio's Nativity. It's estimated that around $6 billion worth of plundered art is being traded on the global black market every year. So much so that a special branch of Italy's military police, or Carabinieri, is dedicated to tracking down these stolen treasures. Over the years, they've retrieved millions of pieces, and now, for the first time, these recovered artifacts are on display in a brand new museum.
E quindi ci sono qua dei reperti che vengono da tombe, da santuari.
I mean, some of these pieces are amazing. Soon all these relics will be sent back to their original homes across Italy, whilst the new haul comes in. So how many antiquities do you have in the museum?
Qua abbiamo fatto una selezione di 100 opere, ma il museo in generale ha milioni di opere che sono state recuperate dai Carabinieri.
Some of which have been trafficked thousands of miles right across the globe.
Questo è stato trovato in pezzi, frammentato, in una tomba, in una grande tomba. E questa tomba è stata scoperta dai tombaroli, quindi hanno fatto delle foto, hanno mandato le foto a un mercante d'arte in Svizzera e il mercante ha trovato negli Stati Uniti uno che voleva comprare il vaso e quindi è finito nel museo Getty Museum in California.
So it's a business. You've got people in Italy, people in Switzerland, people in the United States, all getting paid and they're all part of this system.
E quindi è un traffico che può essere confrontato con il traffico di droga, il traffico di armi e economicamente è un po' la stessa importanza.
And I couldn't resist one last question. Nobody knows where the Caravaggio is. I mean, do you know where it is? So have you got it?
No.
And
not here.
Tracking down the movements of these stolen items isn't easy. But not to be beaten, the Carabinieri are adopting ever more sophisticated techniques, and a change in the law means they can punish criminals more severely.
Ci consente di svolgere indagini anche molto efficaci, utilizzando tutti gli strumenti a disposizione, quindi intercettazioni telefoniche, intercettazioni ambientali, aerofotogrammetria, immersioni subacquee.
In this battle against these criminals, do you think you're winning?
È una battaglia tra intelligenze, l'intelligenza dei carabinieri contro l'intelligenza dei criminali. ma i carabinieri sono più intelligenti.
The Carabinieri's Cultural Protection Heritage Squad have retrieved more than 4.5 million stolen artifacts and relics over the past 50 years. And I've come to their HQ because I've been given special access to the vaults where they keep all the stolen treasures that they've managed to recover.
È un luogo meraviglioso, è un museo vivo.
Could you take me on a tour? I'd love to see more.
Certamente.
It feels a bit like an Aladdin's cave in here, with lots of strange and wonderful things to look at. And the paintings, rows and rows of them. And what's the story behind this piece of artwork? It looks incredible.
È stata rubata in Italia e recuperata all'estero. Uno dei metodi di cui siamo venuti a conoscenza è per esempio il sezionare un'opera d'arte per poter commercializzarla più facilmente.
So they'll just take a little section of the artwork and
Yeah.
make money from that.
Yeah.
But there are some success stories. I'm heading an hour north of Rome to Caravaggio and the town's museum. This 2,500-year-old pot, Euphronia Scrata, being its most famous artifact. Looted, trafficked, traded, and found, it was eventually negotiated back. These artifacts are about more than just their physical beauty. I feel they're about the link that they have with the land of their origin and the connection that they have with the people from those areas. And that's where the real history lies. It's good to see it back. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, a certain Caravaggio painting will make its way back home too, one day.